in situ. Whoa, hey, hey.
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Right.
And we are back with you for another segment of our Activated Mornings program. And at this time, we are expecting commentary from Mr. Kingsley De Freitas. So, Kingsley, you can go right ahead and give us a call at this time. All right, so Kingsley is usually on the ball, and if we have not seen him, it means that he's probably preoccupied. All right, so Kingsley, hope that you're in some good spirits, and look forward to hearing from you tomorrow.
I'm surprised Kingsley is not at the telephone ready to call this morning. Wow.
But I hope it is a cha-ching reason why Kingsley is not close to the phone this morning. All right, Kingsley, money off of make not true. All right, let's hope that is the reason. All right, so let's head into a few things. Maybe not so much a few things. So yesterday I was listening to the Issue at Hand program, and there was an interview or a discussion. It's mostly a discussion held with Mr. Peter Wickham, right? So Peter Wickham, and I'm reading this from St. Vincent Times. So it says, well, the heading is Vaccine Mandate No Longer Decisive Campaign Issue. So I thought that was quite interesting, but anyhow, right? So I'm reading this from St. Vincent Times. In a recent commentary on the upcoming SVG election, prominent pollster Peter Wickham has dismissed the COVID-19 vaccine mandate as a significant campaign topic, arguing that the issue has largely been resolved and lost its political potency. Wickham, known for his nuanced political analysis, expressed surprise that the vaccine mandate continues to be a point of contention. My problem with the whole vaccine mandate thing was that I always thought it was necessary, he stated, drawing from his personal experience of vaccination and public health understanding. The pollster offered a critical perspective on vaccine hesitancy, highlighting what he sees as a largely politically motivated resistance. So let me go down. So that's in essence what it is. In the last paragraph, he says, most notably, Wickham believes that Vincentians have ultimately assessed the government's COVID-19 response positively. I don't see much currency or relevance in continuing to pursue this issue. He stated, suggesting that
this is Kingsley.
that the vaccine mandate has lost its political traction. All right, so we pick this up after. Kingsley, bye, wake up hour.
Morning, Miss Sunday, morning.
Morning.
What did you do yesterday? Did you listen to Issue at Hand yesterday?
Yes, I did.
Anything jump out at you?
Well, we were just actually talking about it. The comment made by Mr. Wickham of, I think I'm quite sure that he used the word, or the phrase, it's a non-issue, but yes, he was saying, in his opinion, that the vaccine mandate is not, it's not going to play a key role in the upcoming elections. That's what stood out for me. I mean, he said other good things, but that's what stood out for me.
Were you refer that as good?
No. I was talking about everything else. I mean, in terms of the conversation, not necessarily if I agreed yes or no with that, but that part about the vaccine mandate was what stood out for me.
Okay, well, that stood out at me also. And I personally feel that Mr. Wickham, while he shares his opinion, that opinion is nonsense. I personally feel that Rav Gonsalves, Jimmy Prince, and the ministry should pay a price at the polls of the next election, because a lot of people don't realize how people suffer from the impact of the vaccine mandate. And I use the word suffer deliberately because I get the impression that Mr. Wickham is saying that it wasn't enough suffering that Israel experienced because of his vaccine mandate. The Europe could still win the next election. But I was really surprised that he made that comment because I don't know if you noticed this, Shannon. I complain about if I had to take the vaccine again, I wouldn't take it because I had some negative impact because taking the vaccine. And I got a lot of people in listen again who is suffering because of the issue. And some people lost the house, can't send the children to school, but Mr. Income is like that. I personally feel that Vincent Chan should make Ralph Gonsalves and Jimmy Prince before that. Because they say it wasn't mandated by law, but they passed a bill in Parliament to become law. People are suffering because of that. I'm using myself as an example of medical history because he took the vaccine. Dr. Thompson tried to slight me and say, oh, it's because if you're diabetic, that's the problem. But I've been diabetic long before I took the vaccine. And I can't understand why some people bring out a shape to say this vaccine did not have an impact. Well, I tell you something. I am preparing a statement, Ms. Sandra, and one of these days I'm going to tell you about this statement that I'm going to make when the next election is called and complete. Because I think there are ways for people to do that. Where we're going after this next election will be important, depends on which political party will the next election. And I have my statement already written out. And when I make a statement, that will be my final statement on the radio. Depends on which political party will the next election. But I have something working on for the rest of the week. So I'm going to let you know that I will try to be on every morning this week, but I have a conflict that I want to deal with. So sorry for being late, but at least I'm here.
Okay.
And where's the other young lady?
Morning.
She was there?
Hello.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I hear you reading you this morning, so I thought you disappeared. That was a people. I'll have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.
All right. Have a good one, Kingsley. Thanks. All right. So before I give my thoughts, Dianna.
Is the vaccine mandate a non-issue in the next general election? Sometimes I feel like it is not, and then other times I feel like there is a possibility that there are some persons who are still holding on to that vaccine mandate. And then something interesting popped into my mind the other day. When we're talking about voting for self versus voting for country, if you say that you are not voting or you're not voting for certain people because you lost your job with the mandate or you were affected in any way with the mandate, is that a personal reason that is that voting for self or is that voting for country as well? I also recognize that I think somebody said it, I don't remember who, but people have a short memory, and human beings in general, you just have to dangle certain things in front of them, show them certain things after a while, and they'll forget certain things of the past and just move on. And that's it for me. Should they hold that vaccine mandate in their minds and say this is the thing that is going to cause me to vote how I vote in the next election? I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, so just my thoughts on it, right? I noticed that Terrence Oliver. All right, so let's take the call and I will give my thoughts after. Hi, caller. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Well, whether it's significant or not, it could still play a role in the change of the government. We see people winning by one vote, so it could make a difference in change of government. That's all I gotta say about that.
Oh,
Thank you. Bye.
wow, Queens. Okay. All right. And yeah, I am actually siding with what Queens, they are leaning towards what Queen said. Now, the reason why I suppose it struck out or it stood out to me was that, and Mr. Wickham is sharing his opinion, right? And we're all going to have different opinions on this situation. But Terence Oliver said something interesting. He came up with a phrasing, vote with your memory card, right? This was in relation to another matter that he was speaking on, but he was telling persons to vote with your memory card. And part of me feels that for some of these persons who were impacted by the vaccine mandate, that is the memory card that is going to stay implanted in their heads. And the thing of it is that, so while it is that I can understand some persons are going to say, oh, 4 years have passed, maybe you have gotten back your job, maybe you've gotten a new job, whatever the case might be. I think for some persons who might be holding it in their craw, the fact that they had to choose, like they were placed in that position where they had to make a decision of keeping a roof over my head, being able to find food for my children. That is what placed them in a position where a decision had to be made, and the decision that was made wasn't actually the decision that they wanted to make. And I think that is why it is that it stood out for me, and why it is that I am not in agreement with it, because on an individual basis, and maybe, yes, looking at it from a personal standpoint as opposed to nationally, what was happening at that time, given the pandemic that occurred then, is that it was a little bit different, where you are saying that I have to take this in order for me to know how my future is going to be. It might be 4 years on, but persons were impacted financially based on the decision at that point in time in their lives, right? So maybe, yes, they have been able to find footing, but I know for somebody like me, they say in relation to this, but I don't forget, right? You and I might be cool now, but I have not forgotten, right? So I think that is where it is with what happens with some individuals, where, things may have picked up, I might have left the job in the first place that I didn't even want to be at and found something new. But because you placed me in that position, I am holding on to it, all right? Of course, it's going to be different from many individuals. And I think the difference for me here is that in Barbados, many persons, there was a high compliance rate, in that many persons did, or the population, a high significant majority of the population, they voluntarily went and took the vaccine. Here in Vinci, it wasn't the same. So I think that may have influenced why Mr. Wickham said what he said, because he's looking at what happened in Barbados, but he wasn't on the ground here in SVG. All right. So again, people are going to have their own opinions. Whether or not it's going to be a significant, bring about a significant change or influence significantly how the election results are going to go, I can't say. We're just going to have to wait and see. But if it does, I can understand, all right? And maybe that's all I would say to that.
Yeah, because as you said, there are persons who are holding it in their craw. There are NDP supporters and ULP supporters who lost their job in the vaccine mandate. And I suppose you're gonna
okay. You can take it on, yeah. All right. Hi, Coach. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. I'm going to put a little spin on what you're saying. The percentage of people who's probably going to remember vaccine, I don't see how that percentage of people could actually sway the election that way. Because if 10 people in one area probably have a problem with the vaccine, another 10 over here, we see there's 200 and something people in the country that have a problem. I don't see it swaying the election in any big way. Yes, some people might lose some votes here, some people might lose some votes there. But I don't think if the vaccine was a problem the whole country probably would have been still reeling about it. But seeing that nobody's reeling about it in that much, yes, Kingsley's one of them who talks, and a few other people might be talking. I don't think, as Peter will come say, I don't think the vaccine itself is a problem.
Oh,
You
okay.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. But you see,
I'm talking about the percentage.
yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And that's what I said. I mean, we could only be having conversations about it now. None of us really know how it's going to go. But what I can say though, Kojo, is that let's say you may not hear persons being vocal about it because many persons are not vocal. On social media, it's the same set of people you tend to see making commentary, etc. But I think because persons have that ability to exercise their right through voting, is where we might see whether or not it's going to create a difference. So hearing them voicing their opinions now, I won't necessarily use that as any sort of gauge to say whether or not yes it is or no it isn't going to.
And I'm glad you said that too, because sometimes a lot of people voice their opinion because of political not I shouldn't say political, because of crowd, they're in a crowd. Oh, I don't like I'm this that she when they go home they in the head them. Yeah, I go to against that thing if you come right at all. So it cut both ways, because I come outside making noise, vaccine. But then I'm benefiting in a lot of ways that the vaccine alone cannot sway me. You understand what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah.
So there's that set of people who is, even if they're making big noise about the vaccine, when they look wrong and see the benefits coming out of the barrel, they might have gotten a brand new house.
But still, I might not forget. I could be ungrateful in that way.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, what the point I'm trying to make is like, you lose, you take the vaccine, now you end up with a new house. What they say? The people that say, well, something is the last meal.
You remember your last meal recency effect?
Right. So that I'm not saying people like that, but I'm saying that could be well be in the picture too, because people could remember when you last get them. I mean, it's even in friendship you could see that. You have a good friend, you've been giving them stuff and helping them out and all that kind of thing. They come with you and then say, could I get $100? And you say, I can't afford it. You was person right there.
Yeah.
And all that help you get them there 100 times before. They don't remember nothing of that. But because you can't help them today, you was supposed to know. So I mean, it cut both ways, but I don't see the vaccine as a major. I'm not saying it's not going to play some role, but I don't see it as a major difference in an election.
Well, as I said, it's left to be seen. All right, it's left to be seen.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Good hearing from you again.
Okay.
All right.
Good. Welcome back.
Thanks, man.
I thought you wasn't going to see you, and it seemed like you was having too much fun all day.
No, I was walking. Listen, I was just off from WEFM, but I was walking otherwise.
Excuse me.
Hold on, you're making on and just hold on.
Dr. Thompson here. I seem to a lot of you guys, you really like these ladies. You missed her, and you missed Dianna when she was over in Barbados and Carrie Festa. I know that, right, Kojo?
Yes. That's why I listen.
Yeah.
If I didn't like what happened on WEFM in the morning, I would not tune in.
True. And he's always listening and contributing. So we thank you for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Okay.
later.
Okay. Good morning, Doc.
Doc just step outside. He hear you anyhow. All right.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
All right. Any final thing there, Dianna?
Interested to know though, if something that's interesting to me, if people do vote with the vaccine mandate in mind, how are we even going to know that? How are we even going to know that they voted for because of, or they voted against because of, But
maybe they could do a silent poll afterwards. But I don't
When they come
know.
in and say, I voted. I
Yeah.
bet you didn't remember.
Well, it would depend on how the results go, because all right, it would depend.
Yeah.
We'll have that conversation because I don't want to have a hypothetical conversation right now. So yeah, we'll leave that. Okay, so. And with that, we are heading on out of this segment. Time here in SVG, it is 8:05, and our time check came through the compliments of New Haven Funeral Home.